Welcome to the guidance for Priory School to place your order for a new or replacement iPad if you're now out of contract. So from the school website, under the Parents tab, you'll see the link to the iPad one-to-one scheme, and this will take you in there to this page. And on this page you'll find the details of the iPad scheme, highlighted for you the closing date for the current window. It's very important to make sure we get the orders in by that date. And there's lots of more information. The portal sign up button we'll come back to because that's the link you're going to use in a minute to go and place your order. The price lists are here. Those that are eligible for discounts, there's a table of the discount codes to apply in there with it. There is guidance from the trust explaining the purpose of the scheme, and really importantly, frequently asked questions document that will often cover lots of the questions you may have as you're going through the process in there with. There's also guides for those bringing their own devices, and where we use the Jamp software to manage and control the iPads, you as parents can also access that at home, and there's some information to be able to help you understand how you can go and do that. It's a bit more explanation about the free school meals. So those with your children eligible, or if you think they are, the link to the Portsmouth City Council website to go and make your application, and the codes that are also linked in the table above. And if you've got more than one child in school, then we offer sibling discounts as well, so you can go through and put those in, and we'll explain and show where we're going to put those in. And as with everything, the link is there to our email address, so if you've got any questions, anything's not covered in the FAQs, anything you're not sure about, please do drop us an email. We'll get back to you as quickly as we can to help you through the process. So the order itself is placed just simply by clicking on the portal sign up. That will take you to this page here, where you've got access to everything, so the different packages available depending on the year group, because the amount of time they've got left to run until they reach the end of year 11, for different costings. If you just want an order of stylus, so if you've already got a device but they didn't have a stylus at the time, or you've got your own device, we have an opportunity through there. The styluses aren't part of the insurance package, they aren't covered because they are small cost devices within that. We do also through the school shop on parent pay have the opportunity to go and order styluses through that, so that when the window is closed for orders in here, you can still get them through that. For now, if you want one, I should use this. All the time's open, but otherwise they are still available. And if you were just bringing your own iPad, I've done a separate guidance video for that, but there's the link there to go and confirm that is the case and to sign the declaration. So I'm going to demonstrate this for as if I have a child in year 6 who's going to be starting in year 7. So from the September that's forthcoming, they'll be in year 7. So that's the option that I want. All of these are based on from the starting year. So all of those. So this, at the time of recording, we're in June, looking at that window coming from September. So if your child were currently in year 10, you'd pick the 11 and 13. If they were currently in year 8, it would be the year 9, and so on. But don't worry if you get it ends up in the wrong place, I will pick it up and try and rectify that for you. We'll talk about the processes we go through in a minute. There is information on here, as again the iPad school use agreement that you're going to be signing up and agreeing to as part of this process is linked in there as well. But I'm going to go through and just select in here. So for year 7 and 8, we've got two options, two packages available, either a 2-year or 3-year. It's entirely up to you. There is no preference, no requirement either way. It's a question of whether you want to consider potentially renewing it in 2 years or 3 years, or whether you just want to reduce the cost slightly by spreading it over. So I'm going to do it with a 3-year student package. So quite simply just click the select down there. And again, this gives you some information about the important key timings, dates and costings in here with it. So we've got a year 7 and 8 3-year package, just highlighting there for, we are as a trust and a school underwriting this, so it's not subject to credit checks. They are going to accept your agreement in there with it. The costings are highlighted in here. So 36 months direct debit for this package will be starting on the 1st of September 2025. Obviously this if you're watching this in a later window, days will have been updated. If you're going to buy it one-off, because you obviously have that option, you'll see the link for the one-off option down here, then the payment date is in there with it, and really importantly the portal closing date, alright, to make sure we get all of the orders in there. And there's information you can go and expand these and go and find more out about, linked to the stuff that was on the school web page as well. So at all points we've got all that information that's clearly invisible to you out through with it. So we're going to go through, and just to demonstrate what happens for those that have access to a discount code. If you don't, you can just leave this bit blank. But for our example here, we've got a year 6 child starting in year 7, so we pick the 3-year option, and they're entitled to free school meals. So I'm going to enter that code in there, and you'll see in a moment it'll update and it'll adjust the monthly cost. There are no one-off options available for those discount codes. They are just for those who are looking to go and pay monthly. And then finally on this page, you just need to select your colour. Now there's actually only one available, that's just part of the system that, you know, if in the future we offered a broader range of colours, you can go and pick it there, but you need to click that, otherwise it won't let you move on. And then we can go and move on to the order now, which will bring up our next screen for you to go and fill in your details. So the first thing is just confirming that you are happy to go and share this data with EduTech, who carry out the sourcing and financing of these devices for us. And it is only the information that is required for the processing of this scheme and for no other purpose that we will then have access to as well, and we'll cross-check against our records to find the child in our school and confirm the free school meals, etc. So you just need to pick Priory School from the list of available schools and then go and fill in your details in here. And please note, this is your name in this first row, and really importantly then the child's name in this second row. It just makes it so much easier for us if we get them the right way around, because obviously otherwise if we get thrown through with a parent's name, particularly if the surname is not exactly the same, and certainly first name won't be necessarily the same, it can make it quite difficult for us to go and trace it. So it helps us a lot if we definitely get those the right way around. The year group, so this is year 6 child, we start in September, will be in year 7. If you know the form group, and obviously this child won't because they won't know who their tutor is yet, it's helpful if you put it in. If you don't worry. And then putting in your postcode and click find address to go and find your address. Obviously I've used a school one here, so we're not sharing anybody's address details. And then contact email for you. I'm just going to use the contact email for any of your questions for us. And just confirm. Keep on putting in extra characters. Alright, and then your mobile number, and click next step. So this is just confirming this is what we've applied for. So year 7 and 8, 3-year student package with the 3-month option. Just so that I didn't mention when we were looking for the one-off cost, some people asked the question about why with the 3-year is it more expensive as a one-off cost than the 2-year. The reason being, although you're buying the device outright in one go, is the insurance period will run for that either 2 or 3 years. So the 3-year is slightly more expensive because it's the additional cost of a year's extra insurance. But just if you're happy with those, you've done the right things, we can go through and confirm, and we confirm that you're doing by monthly direct debit. So we'll then need to go and fill in the bank details. So just I'm just going to put in a dummy account in there. Alright, by monthly direct debit, and it will confirm and find your branch and details in there just to confirm. And then your name as appears on your banking records. So you can type the direct debit, and the address, again this is for the bank account, So it's much the same as any other direct debit form in there with it, and just go and pick your address and then your initials in there to confirm and go through the bank details. And then finally you're going to go through and do the declaration agreement to the iPad school use agreement. If you've got a device that you're writing on that's enabled to go and work with your stylus or with your mouse to go and fill in the signature, if that's not possible, like this with a mouse not very good, you can also just click in this box down here and fill in your name electronically as your confirmation to it. And then we just click confirm order, and you will see then the message will appear on screen to confirm that you have made that submission of that order. You will shortly then get a notification to say that your order has been received. We will then get notification of that, and we will go through and just double check, match up the child to those on our records, check through, and if you've applied discount code, check that we've got evidence of your eligibility for that. And you know, if you've missed out a discount code and we could try and pick it up, we will do our best to try and pick up on that to come back to you. If you put the wrong one in again, you know, as part of our checking process, we'll go through and try and iron out any of those issues. If something does occur, if something happens later on, you know, it's not unknown for us to have people who put through with the discount code for the free school meals, but we don't have evidence of eligibility yet. If that's then rectified at a later date, we can still go back and update and ask EduTech to go and update the order and direct debit. So don't panic about that. Anything you're not sure about, please do use the iPads at priory.southsea.org, and we will get back to you as quickly as possible with any queries. Thank you for your time, and I hope this has been helpful.